Alright, so I picked up this Husqvarna weed whacker. It's a 122C. Nice little machine here. Picked this up for nothing. Someone was giving it away. And I thought, well, you can't go wrong. I'll just take it and see if I can figure out why it's free. And so I tried running it, and it's a no start, no run. So, it has fuel. So that's not it. I pulled the plug. Plug looks very clean. Might even be brand new. They might have changed it. I'm not sure. Check the gap. It's all good. Primer bulb works. All of that works. So I threaded a gauge in place of the plug and cranked it over. And it's only got, about 25 pounds compression. So I thought, okay, there we go. Lack of compression equals no start, no run. So we're going to re-ring this thing here today and get it going. So for the cost of the parts is about 1/10 the cost of buying a new machine. So better deal than you could really get, I guess. So what we're going to do is take these plastic covers off. You've got to undo all these screws, and that comes apart. Take the screws off the front cover here, and that comes off. We're going to take these screws off the back here, and that comes off. We're going to get these side covers off, undo that button there and pull that off. And then we're going to be at the nuts and bolts of the machine. When we take the engine apart, there's going to be a cylinder head gasket. We're going to re-ring it, and there's going to be a crankcase gasket. And that's really all there is to it. So we're going to do that today. Let's get started. Now most, if not all of these screws are going to be this T25 bit. So you need one of those and a handle to put the bit into, and we'll take it all apart. Alright, so once you get these covers off, then this whole shaft section is going to pull right out. You can see how that slips in there. And then we can work with just this head unit. And I recommend that you put the screws back in the screw holes that they belong in, because they're not all going to be the same length, and then you don't get confused. Okay, so we got the front cover off. We got the back cover off. We got the side covers off. And I've removed the fuel tank from the engine assembly as well with the carburetor. Now I'm going to undo those screws that hold the ignition module on, and we're going to take that off, the little magneto, and then we're just going to be left with the motor itself to work on, and that's where we want to be. Okay, now it might be a little hard to see, but there's one screw down there and one down in there. Yeah, it's hard to see. But anyway, we're going to remove those screws, and then we can take the head off. Alright, so I pulled the head off, and you can see here, and the piston is dark. And we'll look inside the head, and you see that combustion chamber is a little bit carboned up too. So anyway, we're going to clean this up, and we're going to grab our new parts and re-ring this thing. Tiny little piston, weighs very little, and we're going to put it, only has one ring on it, so we're going to put our one new ring on there. And yeah, anyway. Okay, so I've brushed the piston clean of carbon off the top there and wiped it down with a rag. And then the ring groove, I've wiped that out with a rag as well, clean that up. And we've got some new parts here, and so I'm going to compare the old ring to the new ring just visually, and then maybe we'll measure it too and just see how worn it really is. Okay, now I don't know how easy this is for you to see, but the ring, the ends are stepped. and they fit on just like that. So the step angle is upward, and it fits around this little notch right there. So when you compress the ring, it comes together. I hope you see that. Okay, so now the piston is clean, and I've cleaned the combustion chamber as well. Hard to see, I guess, but just a rag and my finger and get that all wiped clean in there. Turned out pretty good. Okay, so I set the old ring in the cylinder bore, and I measured the ring gap, and it's 0.12 on a feeler gauge. So I'm going to do that with the new ring and see, because 0.12 sounds okay. Alright, so I put the new ring in and measured that with the feeler gauge, and it's half. It's 0.06. So yeah, that ring was worn. So that's going to be our culprit. We're going to put this all back together. Alright, so I put the new head gasket on the bottom of the head, and I secured it just with a little bit of glue stick glue here, just in each corner where the bolt holes are. Just a little tiny bit, just to hold it in place while we reassemble, and that'll be fine. Now as for that ring gap, I re-ringed a 33 cc engine last year, and the ring gap for that was 0.14. And on these two strokes, they got to be pretty small gaps. And the smaller the engine, the tighter the gap. Now this is a 22 cc, so 0.12 didn't sound bad, and I couldn't find a spec readily anywhere for it, but comparing the old one to the new one in the bore, yeah, wow, big difference. So anyways, let's get this back together. Now I've coated the outside of the piston and the ring and the inside of the cylinder with a little film of very light oil to get it to slide in properly. And then of course we're going to make sure that the ring is seated in its proper position on the piston as we get that back into the cylinder head. Now this is probably pretty hard to see, but this gap here allows you to watch the position of your ring as you insert it back up into the cylinder head to make sure that it's seated properly. And you can see that it is. So we're going to slide this all the way in and put things back together. Alright, so let's just make sure everything's turning smoothly, and it is. That's all good. Now when you put the ignition module back on, you want to make sure that that gap there is set correctly. And for this engine, it's supposed to be 0.12. So we'll get the feeler gauge out here and check that and set that, make sure it's good. If it's wrong, we won't get spark. Alright, so after you reverse the process of taking it apart and put it all back together, then prime it, pull the choke, start it, and we should have a good run here. So let's check it out. No, get out of, hey, get out of there. Yeah, well, there we go. We got a good runner now. Very little cost, free machine, some parts, a little bit of time, and there you go. And you can do it too. Thanks for watching. See you again next time. You know, liking and subscribing really helps a small channel, so thank you so much.